This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Eli Ricks can hit another level, and also I'll be talking about Cris Carter and what he had to say about the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's get straight into it. All right, before we get into it, I want to talk about Sean Bradley going at the fans, I guess going at the media, content creators, and a lot of people that have been criticizing Jonathan Gannon over his Arizona Cardinals speech. I don't want to play it here because I don't want to get copyrighted. Usually I do it, but Jonathan Gannon was, the fired up speech, and the team just looked uninterested. So Jonathan Gannon began comments after comments after comments by Eagles fans. Hell, people that hate the Cardinals in their division, people that just don't like Jonathan Gannon in general. And this is what Sean Bradley had to say. So Eagles Sean Bradley is calling it corny to blame the Eagles Super Bowl loss on former DC Jonathan Gannon. Let's be honest. That's why a lot of Eagles fans are going at them, right? He said, S is corny, to be honest. He's a great coach. Y'all just don't understand his style of coaching yet because it's all new. Um, that's the problem. It's too passive, and Patrick Mahomes pit that defense apart. He said we lost the Super Bowl because they played better than us, meaning the Chiefs. Stop making excuses. We lost 3 games all year. No one was talking about Jonathan Gannon. Well, Sean Bradley, a guy like me, I would say like Philly 500, Philly Mike, Lord Bronson. It was a lot of content creators that said, yeah, we look good, but there's certain quarterbacks we play. You see that timid type Jonathan Gannon. We're like, yeah, when you go up against lower tier quarterbacks, he's going to dominate. But when you get to that top 15 ish, top 10, he struggles bad. He struggles. So, again, man, Jonathan Gannon, is he to solely blame on the Super Bowl loss? No, he's not to solely blame because you could say special teams. Some people blame it on Jalen Hurts' fumble. Um, Even Nick Sirianni not going for it and taking a field goal during the Super Bowl. What Quez Watkins drop. It's many factors. But if you put it in a pie, a percentage pie, you gotta say about 70% is on the defense and not the players. It was the play calling was terrible. It was horrible. So again, that's just Sean Bradley. I believe personally like him. Jonathan Gannon personally because he practiced with him, battled with him, this and that. But us fans on the outside looking at, it's like you don't speak to the media after the Super Bowl. Then when you speak to the media, you bash the media, Philly media and Philly fans. Like it came off kind of corny. Then to find out he was colluding with the Arizona Cardinals, and then the cause of collusion allegedly lost us a chance at getting a high caliber coach and the defensive coordinator in Denver, Vic Fangio. We missed out on that because of him. It's just such a bad trickle down effect. But I will say this, because of him, we do have Sidney Brown, so I could thank him for that. But other than that, man, the trickle down of Jonathan Gannon, it's been terrible. I mean, I know this might sound wild, but our defense was so good. I think 70 sacks is a little disappointing how good our defense were. I know it's the most in Eagles history, this and that. But if any other defensive coordinator had our defense against the opponents we were playing and how dominant our defensive line was, easy 80 to 85. We should have broke the 80s Bears record. How great our defense were, especially that defensive line. But went on a long tangent on that, longer than what I expected. So Cris Carter, is he speaking facts? So let me go ahead and play this clip of Cris Carter talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and teams that's going to shock him.
Prediction for the season. It could be Super Bowl. It could be in somebody that's going to pop off. Like, give me like the Cris Carter certified prediction for 2023.
I think Baltimore is going to surprise some people. I think Philadelphia legitimately legitimately 15-2. I mean, they are the dominant team in the NFC. And Patrick Mahomes is our modern day Tom Brady. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a rematch in the Super Bowl. They're the cream of the crop. Wow. See if we can get them to that last game. Let's do a rematch. Let's do it over again.
I didn't hear
See if we can get pass interference late in the game or something like that. Patrick Mahomes scrambling with a bad ankle. Let's do it again.
Don't I miss Cris Carter on TV? I miss Cris Carter on TV because that Nick Wright guy, his ego is through the roof. And the only guy that was checking him at the time when I used to really watch First Thing First, I watch it here and there. But when I used to get up in the mornings and go to work and have it playing, Cris Carter used to keep Nick Wright in check, man. Especially that Super Bowl run when we won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. And I agree with Cris Carter, man. I don't want to make predictions like that. But if the Eagles go like a 15-2 or lose like 4 games or something like that, I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. People saying, oh, yeah, schedule harder, this and that. But the changes we made, far as even with the coaching staff, is better. We got a different defensive coordinator. I think our linebacker tandem is better than last year tandem with TJ Edwards and Kaiser White. I think Nakobe Dean and Zach Cunningham is a better tandem. And no telling what move Howie Roseman is going to make. Safety room is the only room I'm somewhat worried about, but I believe in Reed Blankenship better than both safeties that we had last year. Health wise, we had a higher PFF than CJ Gardner-Johnson. It's just the other guy that's playing beside him that we really have to wait and see. The cornerbacks are still the same. The nickel corner is still the same. The defensive line is basically the same. It's basically the same, to be honest. What we lost Javon Hargrave, okay, we got a Jalen Carter. But even though with the Jalen Carter, you got to wait and see. The defensive line is still going to be dominant. You didn't lose Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat. You didn't lose Brandon Graham. You didn't lose Fletcher Cox. We will be fine. Then you get a better play caller. And honestly, all you need is JG again, just with a little mix up, and I believe Sean Desai can do that, and that would just bring our defense to another level. Offense is pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. We got a better Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift. Then you got Kenny G, who is entering his prime. So look, man. Again, would I be surprised if we go like a 15-2 and it's like some type of rematch in the Super Bowl? No, I won't be surprised. I actually be a little disappointed if we only won 10 or 11 games. I'll be a little disappointed, but as long as we could get to that dance, it really doesn't matter. But again, Cris Carter is speaking facts. Yes, he is speaking facts, and I totally agree with him. This team is going to be very, very good. We just on top of the food chain right now. Our era is now. We gotta go attack. We gotta go attack and get a championship at this moment. All right, and lastly, I want to talk about my guy Eli Ricks. Lastly, he's saying he could take his game to another level. He's saying he can take his game to another level. All right, so just to show you the numbers, all right. So Eli Ricks, what coverage grade was 90.2. Targeted 15 times, 6 catches allowed. Mind you, he's on the Michael Pittmans of the world, and he's doing good up against starters, man. Had a pick 6. We already know that pick 6 rate, 3 PBUs, and a passer rating allowed 54.9. Now, if this kid can hit another level, and I know I took a lot of flack for saying this, but when I see the future cornerbacks, when I see it, I see Josh Jobe and Eli Ricks on the outside, and I see Isaiah Rodgers as the nickel. A lot of people are like, what about Keely? What about Keely? When I see it right now, I don't see Keely better than either one of those dudes, and I don't see him skilled enough to play the slot. Maybe he could position switch if the Eagles want to get him out there, but right now he's not better than Josh Jobe or Eli Ricks. Or honestly, I don't think he's even projected to be better than those guys. He's more athletic. Yeah, I give him that. I give him that, but playing that cornerback position, as the Isaiah Rogers kid, Josh Jobe, and Eli Ricks, that's the future. I'm sorry, it is. You got Avonte Mattis contract coming up. You got James Bradbury and Slay might be going for the Eagles in the next couple years, 2 or 3 years. We might not have the tandem, but our cornerback room is really, really good. And I believe in it, even with the undrafted free agent guys. Hell, even if it's not Isaiah Rogers, shoot, we got Mario Goodrich who could play the nickel, or Isaiah Rogers playing beside Eli Ricks or Josh Jobe. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Yes, today. Um, Eli Ricks. I went too long on that Sean Bradley thing, but I really wanted to talk about that. Sorry about that. And the Cris Carter. Cris Carter. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm a